Welcome to the Neapolitan
Scoop Podcast.
My name is Stef.
My name is Shay.
And my name is Rose. Thank you for tuning in to the Neapolitan Scoop Podcast, where you get your weekly scoop. If you have not subscribed to our podcast, what are you waiting for? Go subscribe right now. Before we jump in, quick note on our content. It is created for adult audiences, so we do advise for listener and viewer discretion. Today's topic, Unsolved Mysteries. This episode is going to be a little different than what we're used to. But we're going to be talking about some famous unsolved mysteries. We each are going to give you a story, and we're going to start off with some questions from Shay.
So, are unsolved mysteries and unsolved crimes the same thing?
No.
I think so.
No, because unsolved crimes are like, you have like evidence,
Dead people.
facts. Yeah, unsolved mysteries, like you just don't know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like unsolved crimes, like you know the person died either by this or by that.
Exactly.
You just didn't find a killer.
Haven't found it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But unsolved mysteries, you just like, person just
Something
called
happened.
ghost.
Yeah, they disappeared. They were here one day. They're gone the next. That's
Gotcha.
a mystery.
We don't know what happened.
So, they are not the same thing.
Mm.
But I like unsolved mysteries. And I like unsolved crimes. But like I said before, I like when they get solved because they need the killer to be caught.
Yeah.
And we need to find the person that's been missing.
That we don't know where they went.
Their families can be
At
peace with whatever happened to them. It's nothing worse than
Like that John Benet Ramsey case.
What happened?
That the little girl?
Behind the little famous girl that she looked like a doll. She looked like a baby
She was
doll.
real
They still
pretty.
don't know what happened. Like, did her brother kill her and they just all the family covered it up? Did her dad kill her in the past?
I never saw that.
They haven't solved it yet.
Man, you gotta be a good criminal.
Yeah.
Shit like that.
Well, they said it was either her brother and all her family tried to cover it up, or it was one of the neighbors that killed her and put her right back up there when he saw that everybody was looking for her. Because she was found in the laundry room in a dryer or something like that.
In a dryer?
She was a tiny thing. She was like 6 years old, I think, when it happened. That's like one of the most famous unsolved mysteries.
That's sad.
And now, like, I think everybody but her brother has died. So they're like both of her parents are dead. Because it was years and years ago, and her brother's the only one that's alive. So they're like, unless he, says, yeah, it was me before he dies, we're never gonna know what happened with her.
Wow.
Yeah.
About the ego, there's nobody to really fight for her.
Yeah.
To really try to bring it to justice.
Yeah.
Right.
Is the brother even trying to?
I don't think so.
He did.
Yeah.
He just happy nobody caught on to him.
Wow, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Did it. Okay. So let's get into some famous unsolved mysteries. The following were found on worldatlas.com. All right, so the first unsolved mystery is that of D.B. Cooper, and it goes this way. In the early 1970s, a man called himself D.B. Cooper boarded a plane headed to Portland, Oregon to Seattle, Washington. According to witnesses on the plane, D.B. Cooper calmly held over one of the plane's stewardess and informed her he had a bomb on board. He ordered the plane to land as scheduled. Once it reached Seattle, he demanded $200,000 and a parachute in exchange for hostages that he'd taken. The local authorities obliged his request, and D.B. Cooper, a man of his word, released hostages without issue. His final request was that the pilot stay behind. He asked them to fly him over Mexico to stay in the cockpit the entire flight. As soon as they took off from Seattle, he instructed them further to fly slowly and relatively low to the ground. After that, after they traveled for a short period of time, D.B. Cooper unlocked the door to the plane and jumped. No one has seen him since. The FBI is adamant that D.B. Cooper died in his escape attempt, while others are certain that he lived. Nobody was ever recovered. Nobody was ever recovered.
Nobody.
And none of the money given to D.B. Cooper was ever found. I feel like if you don't find money, that nigga is gone. Because you jump in the ocean of wherever in Mexico, you can get not finding a body.
Yeah.
But you don't find traces of not $1 bill nowhere, quoted nowhere.
Yeah, well, just to add a little more to the story, they said that when the actual pilots think that he jumped, because he also had a stewardess in there, and they calculate that he jumped somewhere around, I think they said down, somewhere down. He didn't jump all the way in Mexico. He jumped shortly, like in Washington or something like that. And they're saying that the sky was really bad, like it was raining, it was storming, so they think that he died. Like they're thinking he jumped, and he jumped ahead of time, and he just died. But some others, there's this guy that's obsessed with him that I saw on TV the day. It was actually at Netflix. And we found some money across the shoreline. So they're saying, did he jump and make it to shoreline, and maybe he had to let go of some of that money because it was too much for him to carry? Or did he like not calculate where he was going to fall and ended up dying, and that money just kind of swam to shore or something?
So they did find, well, it said that they didn't find no traces of money, but
but later on, now they've actually, a couple of years ago, they've started finding like little bits and pieces of the money, but not all of it though. The DB Cooper was a girl. He must be dead by now. If he was alive, he's dead by now.
Well, I'm just trying to see, because if
1970.
Damn. A couple of years ago, that could be anybody's money.
You think so?
I think so. I mean, because it's been over 40 years.
And then 1970, you got to remember, they didn't trace money like they used to now, like they do now. It's I don't know. I think
the money should also look different, because if it's coming from 1970, that's a different type of print. Probably got a different writing style on it. I'm pretty sure it looks completely different from the dollars and bills we have now.
Yeah.
So it should be able to be like, how they have what's it called? Not architects, they build buildings. The ones that look into like artifacts and stuff. Archaeologists, yeah. So they should be able to determine based on the money if it's old or new.
Maybe he got eaten by a whale.
Maybe.
Or
like who was it? Jonas?
To eat them.
Not the orca.
Oh, the orca would just like swim around them and just like see what they doing, let them go, like fight it. Don't come here no more. This is fight territory, and they'll let them go.
And then be like, I'm hungry.
Right.
Cool. They eat whatever is. They eat other seals and stuff.
How you know, Shay?
They eat other orcas.
Of all the videos I've seen of people being encountered by orcas, none of them ever got eaten. They all just got kind of looked at, and that was it.
Is that all your research?
How much research do I need?
Didn't that SeaWorld lady get killed by an orca that dragged her and split her in half? SeaWorld lady?
I remember that.
Split her in half.
See, she's selective about the videos.
Orcas are scary.
Yeah, I mean, I love them, but if I got caught in the middle of them, I don't know what the fuck I do. Shit my pants in the middle of them.
They know. Orcas know that they're the predator. That's why they're not scared of humans, because they're like that filthy human.
You can't do nothing to big old me. Period.
That's crazy.
But yeah, I mean, maybe he did die. I don't know.
I think it's. I don't know. I don't think we're ever gonna solve that. That's gonna be another John Benet.
I think he died. I think he was eaten or he drowned or something.
Damn, that would have been.
Even if he had a parachute, do you know?
They never found his body.
But sometimes if it's like in what's that lake where people be dying?
Lake Lanier.
In
Atlanta. He was over Atlanta.
No, I'm saying if it was something like that, that was a good one for our last episode. The Lake Lanier. Yeah, they said that's haunted.
Really?
Yeah.
Everybody who goes into it, they die. But it was just one dude who went in, and he actually came out, and they was like, he had some curly hair, so they was like, oh, he probably had ass blacks. The ancestors just gave him.
No, for real, like.
Because
they said the lake was created over a
settlement. Yes, I think I've heard of it. It used to be an old town.
It was I think it was a grave site or something for like slaves or something. It's something I can't quite remember, but
everybody who hops in there.
That's why they say like the souls of the people that's buried under there just snatch the people up. Like people will literally go in fall in the water and just not resurface.
Oh wow!
Till they drown.
So it's just basically a lake that's sitting there because nobody will go in it.
But people go like dumbasses.
Oh no!
On the test if it's real.
Nah, I'm not gonna
like
test
people. They'll ride their little jet skis on it. They'll have their boats over. You know how you ride your boats and stuff, and maybe jump off or whatever.
Nah,
and they don't come back. But this one curly haired dude, he came back and he didn't look black. But he had curly hair, so they was like his ancestors must have gave him back. But everybody else usually died.
Yep.
Either that or he didn't really fall in, and then he just said he did it. Because otherwise, why are you alive?
Right.
I wonder if there's like a big current down there. Like, what would the scientific explanation behind it be?
Because I mean, how deep you gonna go? Like, I don't think they be going that deep. They probably just jump in and try to come back up.
So from what I hear, it's like some of these people actually are swimmers. Like they swim. And it's like, I can understand like me, if I fall in the water, I ain't gonna know how to get back up. Right. But like if you're a swimmer, you're gonna know how to like come back. Yeah. So it's like something that's literally like pulling them down. Yeah.
I never go.
I'm not.
But I heard they're trying to open it back up too. Like so people can actually go.
They need to just drain it and close it.
Yeah.
Too many people have died there. I'm not. You ain't gonna catch me there.
I know better.
Nope. So the second story or unsolved mystery involves a famous Alcatraz prison. In the cold waters of San Francisco Bay lives this famous prison. This was once thought to be impenetrable and a fortress that no prison escape could be done from this, right? We already know. But
this in the middle?
It's like
in the middle of the ocean.
Island. Yeah, it's like an island. So despite many efforts from inmates, no one was able to sneak their way out of this island for nearly 30 years. That all changed in 1962 when a group of inmates convicted of robbing a bank achieved what was once thought impossible and made it outside of the walls of Alcatraz. Clarence Anglin, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing this name, he's probably dead by now, John Anglin and Frank Morris hatched an ingenious plan that involved tunneling their way to freedom with nothing more than spoons from the cafeteria and a raft made out of raincoats and tape. This is gangster right here. By the time guards realized what was happening the next morning, it was too late. The police ordered a full-on manhunt, but no one was ever found. Many members of law enforcement and the search team are certain that the escapees died once they got into the water because they're notoriously cold and treacherous with strong currents and underflows. However, with no proof or backup to these claims, there's no reason to believe that the escapees didn't find their way out to freedom. A letter was even discovered last year that was supposedly written by an 83-year-old Anglin, but it has not been verified.
So wait, these people were over there because of what they do? They robbed somebody?
Robbing a bank.
So like
it looks like they were brothers because they have the same name, Clarence and John. And then
people died in the bank robbery?
I don't know.
I'm just like, that's pretty extreme to put me on an island with a bunch of crazy ass people because I robbed the bank.
But we're talking about the
prison.
62. Exactly. We're talking about almost 50 years ago. So people, more than 50 years ago, actually. People used to go to jail for nothing.
Oh, okay, you're right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Alcatraz. It's not open, but they have it. It's available for tours.
Yeah. I think they made it off because I think they made that into a sport, didn't they? A couple of years ago, where people do swims from like the California shore into Alcatraz and back. Sure. So there's actually professional swimmers that make it back and forth, but they do say those waters are like really bad. And only like certain people could do it. So they're thinking that these three men were ordinary bank robbers. Like, do you really think they could swim their way shark-infested water? I'm like, look, when it's not your time, it's not your time. Maybe they did make it out. It wasn't meant for them to be in prison. They made it out to the shore and happily ever after.
They have a movie about it.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to watch it. Mm-hmm.
I have to watch it.
I personally think they made it out. I mean, for them to dig a hole,
with spoons.
So apparently they did it. I don't know how long they had been in jail before they escaped.
Cover it up.
Yeah.
So they were doing it, and then I think that's like a certain time of day. I guess when there was a certain amount of noise, they would go in there and start digging the hole.
That's crazy though, with a spoon.
That's genius.
That's
if you can do that, if you can do that, you can beat these waves. Like
they were trying to take over the world.
They were strategic. So I think they made it out.
I hope they made it out. I don't know. I want the bad guys to be good on this one. I want them to win. I want to win for the bad guys on this one.
They just want a little bit of money.
Yeah.
It's not like I don't think they killed anyone because they would have been in there for murder too.
Mm.
But I mean, they just want a little money.
I think the new Alcatraz is Rikers Island.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
where the top offenders go.
Mm-hmm.
That's talking about not going to jail. I don't want to go there either.
I don't want to go to jail
At all.
at
all. That's crazy though.
Yeah.
So like, I wonder, was the island big enough for them to hide on? Like, so even if they didn't like leave to where
it was a whole prison. It was a whole prison in the island. You got to think
you could pull it up. It'll show you.
You got to think about the fact that people had to, make their way in, all those workers and out. So it had to have some kind of port, had to have some kind of,
They probably hopped on one of them boats. All right. So the last unsolved mystery goes as follows. By the end of the First World War, air travel and aviation had swept the world by storm. Taking airplanes from one place to another became much more common, and many people were slowly becoming comfortable with a technology that only a few years prior was viewed with suspicion and distrust. As flying gained popularity, so did the people who were brave enough to pilot these new and dangerous machines. Aviators quickly joined the ranks of celebrities from the emerging film scene in the United States. One of the most famous of these aviators was none other than Amelia Earhart. She had made a series of daring trips across the globe and was the first woman to make a solo trip across the Atlantic Ocean in an aircraft. Yay, women.
Yep.
In 1937, she set off in an attempt to be the first woman to fly around the world. However, once she left California, she was never seen or heard from again. 2 years later, in 1939, she was declared dead. No wreckage from her plane was ever recovered, and neither was the body of Earhart or her co-pilot, Fred Noonan.
I didn't know she had a co-pilot.
That's what they said. It said she had a co-pilot. So her co-pilot went missing too. So, I don't know about this one.
I think she, I think she died.
I think she died. I was going to say the same thing. I don't think she made it.
I think there were stories saying that she might have been caught in the Bermuda Triangle, or that she might have been landed in India because of lack of gas or whatever.
That's what I was going to say.
No, I think she's dead.
Wait, in India? Lack of gas?
Because wasn't she doing a cross-continental trip from
she was trying to
the U.S. to
fly around the world.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I mean, you need a lot of gas for that.
Yeah.
And if you don't have the proper, where was she stopping for gas to fill up her plane?
Stop in India and what, they took her hostage?
No, I think she landed there. Maybe, I don't know.
I think she just ran out of gas and crashed. And
she might have been like, "We can do it 20 more miles." We're on easy.
The red light is on.
We can make it to the next gas station. The next thing you know, you're at a Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh man!
In the words of Isaiah Carey, this little country ass.
Yeah, I don't think she.
So did you say they found wreckage of the plane or not?
They didn't.
No, that's the thing. They haven't found anything in regards to
But I guess if they didn't know where she was going, where would they know where to start?
I think they did have a thing of where she was supposed to be going around the world, because she did have some stops where she was supposed to be fueling. But I think they were waiting at her at that one stop where she was supposed to fuel, and she never made it. So they were like,
because why would she just disappear?
Yeah.
She wasn't on a run.
No.
So I think she just died.
I think so too. Maybe she crashed into a mountain or something. Didn't
And then
it
exploded, and there was nothing left of it.
But then they found all her plane parts. Yeah,
even
but when
Kobe died, you found wreckage.
Yeah,
most planes go down, you still find something.
Well, what if it landed in the ocean?
Oh.
And then just kind of sunk like that.
And I think
to the bottom.
That's why it's such an unsolved mystery, because they don't know where exactly she was when this plane, if it crashed, where did it crash, or if it went down, where it went down. So they would have to go back through her whole track and try to figure out where it went.
And then you got to think about it. The planes back then don't look like the planes now.
Yeah.
They were really
small.
So big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So big. It's so wide.
It's
so long.
And it's so deep.
Didn't they barely find the Titanic 100 years ago? Didn't they say that they hadn't found the Titanic, the second part of the Titanic, until 100 years ago?
Yeah.
And that was a big ass boat. So can you just imagine a little plane that was half the size of that?
Yeah. So if it fell into pieces, the pieces
gone.
Yeah. Well, may her soul rest in peace.
Yes, it may.
Okay, so all right, so great stories of unsolved mysteries. Remember that although we may not believe in certain things or entities, we do respect thoughts and beliefs of others. So I hope y'all enjoyed listening to something different per usual.
Yes. Yes. So thank y'all for tuning in to our podcast. Again, if you enjoyed our content, please subscribe to our channel, like, and comment. We love feedback. While you're at it, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on all streaming platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or wherever you stream your podcasts from. Also, if you have a topic that you would like for us to discuss, or if you'd like to be a guest on our podcast, feel free to email us or send us a DM. Again, thank you, and see you next week for your weekly scoop serving.
Bye.